want you to start with introducing yourself because I think that's the best way to start. So please go ahead.
My name is Firas. I'm 33 years old. Syrian national, married with 2 kids, been in Dubai for 12 years. I love what I do. People person.
Okay.
I love interacting with people. I love sports. This can go on and on and on.
Of course, of course.
So
let's get to the
yeah.
nitty-gritty. What is a quick story that is about you and how you started from the ups and downs and where you are right now in real estate and how you started everything.
I was hired as a salesperson in Armani, so I used to sell clothes. I did that for a year and a half. Then I wanted to explore something new, so I started looking for a job. Of course, Dubai was all about real estate, especially in 2009, 2008, 2007, just prior to the crash, basically. So I saw all the cranes, all the buildings, all the developers. Real estate was the talk of town. All my clients in Armani, or most of my clients in Armani, were involved in the real estate in a way or another, either being the agent or the client or the investor. So then I narrowed my options. I've done many interviews, retail industry or insurance brokerage, and then I narrowed my options and I decided on real estate. I just saw it's booming and I refused to be in audience just watching. I wanted to be part of it. So, but it's a commission-based business, so I couldn't actually leave my basic salary business at Armani, which was 5,500 at that time, and go and do real estate. So I took my vacation, 20 days.
Yeah.
I did real estate. I loved it. I thought I could do it and take it over and beyond. So I rushed back to Armani, I resigned, and then I started the real estate.
How long have you worked in Armani?
A year and a half.
A year and a half.
Yeah.
And then you had like a 2-week vacation from Armani, and based on those 2 weeks, you jumped into real estate. You got your license, everything.
Yeah. No, before getting the license, I wanted to, because I wasn't doing any sales transactions, and also at that time the real estate industry wasn't too governed and wasn't too structured, because everything came up very, very fast in Dubai.
Yeah.
So I did only leasing at that time.
Okay.
But I felt I could do it, and all I had to do is just look at people around me, and I'm like, okay, if these guys can do it, I can definitely do it. In my 1.5 year in Armani, my first year I was top sale on UAE for Emporio Armani. I don't know, if you ask me throughout the journey, what would be just one key for my success?
Yeah.
I would say I always think of the purpose of what I'm doing, and I make sure that that particular purpose is served to the best extent possible. So I don't know, if I'm in the HR department and you tell me take time attendance, as you're my line manager, I say, okay, take time attendance for people here. Someone might just start taking time attendance and think that they've done the job, because their purpose is just to do what the manager has asked.
Yeah.
For me, and for many other successful people, I think, we always think of the purpose of what we're doing. Okay, why did my manager ask me to do this? It's basically to make sure that there are no latecomers, to make sure that we improve the time attendance in the organization, improve the efficiency, the productivity. So I would start actually taking the time attendance and I would monitor and say, is this purpose being served or not?
Yeah.
Are we aligning the latecomers? So I either have to do it, or I come back to you and I say, well, I've done 1, 2, 3, but by the way, your purpose of asking me to do it is not fully served because you have 3 or 4 people that are still coming late.
Yeah.
It's just an example. You should always think of the purpose of what you're doing.
Yeah.
If I'm in a meeting room, if I'm in a training room, I would say, okay, why am I here now? It's for me to learn. And I would give undivided attention. If I go to the gym, I'm in the gym to do sports. So I would just live every single second, not the minute.
That's your main focus.
And make just the most out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what would you have tips on sales and building that relationship and really with the client?
Look, knowledge is an edge. I think if anyone tries to sell something that they don't know much about, they're shooting themselves in the foot. Because basically in business in general, whoever does it best has to earn the business. This is just, I believe it's a law, the same, the gravity law existed way before people realized that there is a gravity law on Earth, and it's just a law. Whoever does the best will have to win the business. So if I'm trying to sell something that I don't know quite well and someone else knows it by heart, they will earn the business.
Wow.
So knowledge is an edge. You have to know exactly what you're selling and the benefits, the features, the competition. Because whoever comes to you to buy something, the only way to showcase the real advantages of your product and services is when you basically compare it to, they will have to compare it, you know? They will have to say, okay, who else is there in the market? And if you, who's selling the product or the service, understand very well the product, your product and your service, and understand what other competitors are doing and offering, then only you will know how to play your chess move and find your edge, basically.
Yeah.
That gives your client a competitive advantage of being with you.
And when you want to go back in beginning of your journey, with real estate, what was the thing in your mind that really gave you the opportunity to go with speed?
One of the things that really gave me a boost, the fact that there's no finish line, there's no limit, basically.
There's no ceiling. Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So just like you can sell a studio and make 5,000 dirhams commission, or you can sell a building and make 2 million dirhams commission. You can be, you know, the fact that you can be, once you have the knowledge, you can be actually sitting with anyone. Because no matter how rich someone is, I think all these rich people, they must have, in a way or another, some sort of relationship with real estate, some sort of real estate investment, some sort of real estate exposure. You know, you have two choices. You can either become an option or you become a need. And I always wanted to become a need for others. So today you can talk to 10 agents or 100 agents in the market and say, you know, this is what I'm offering, and they're kind of getting the same range of talk and pitch and speech that they're getting from everyone else. And in this case, you're just an option. But when you have an in-depth knowledge, when you have a different approach to it, when you do it differently, when you know it better than others, and when you do it better than others, then you become a need. If we want to buy anything, if we want to procure any service in our life, we look for two things in whoever is trying to provide us this service. We look for someone who's honest and has the know-how to do what we want them to do. And this isn't really, it's an undersupplied product. And this is a product that every single one of us can create. And when you create this product, because it's undersupply, you truly become a need. Clients need you. And when times get tough, they need you even more.
Wow.
Because when the real estate industry, when it's booming, you know, everyone's talking about real estate and selling real estate. Even if you got in call with the taxi driver, he might be also trying to sell you real estate. But when people just buy, I don't know, they could be buying from a good-looking girl, an agent, or they could be buying, you know, with based on some overly marketed promises.
Yes.
But when times are tough, then no. Everyone will do their due diligence, everyone will count till 10, everyone will try and see as many options and talk to as many people as possible, and they will go for the best only. Because only the best can help you when times are tough.
Yeah.
The same when you're a kid and, I don't know, you get the flu, your grandpa might tell you drink orange juice, but God forbid when someone gets seriously ill, then they have to go to a doctor, to a specialist.
Yeah. Wow. And when you talk to your sales team, what's your main focus and what's your message to the sales team that they could deliver and be really helped with?
I don't have any secret of trade that I hide, and I think all the component of success, you know, because when you have a will, there's a way, definitely, yeah? So all the components of success are known to everyone. There's nothing too complex about it. When you hear someone on YouTube saying the genius thing we've done is that we didn't give up. I mean, how complex is that? When you say don't give up, persevere, work hard, never let go. I mean, how complex is that? It's very simple, right?
Yeah.
So with my team, I believe that it all starts from this. before even starting giving them real estate knowledge and stuff. Because once you create the will, once you explain what's in it for them, I think that's the time that they will be after you and after the knowledge and after the experience. They will have a higher level of awareness of what needs to be done and what mindset they need to have.
Definitely. And what would you say would be your favorite mentor or favorite person that really you looked up to?
I took an overdose of Steve Jobs, especially in my early days. Yeah, I just think
Steve Jobs was one.
Yeah.
And what would you say is your day-to-day start for your routine, basically? Routine. What would be it every single day? What makes you do what you do? And before that thing that you do prepares you.
I think I'm always motivated. I don't know, for some reason I'm always driven and motivated. And I think always of the journey. Because if your target is money, I mean, you will get the money if you work hard and then be like, okay, what's next? But it's the journey that thrills me,
Yeah.
It's, I don't accept being anyone but the best.
Awesome.
At what I do. And that doesn't mean that I'm the best in every single round. But at least when I lose or when I fail or when I get broken, I have to stand. So it's the journey towards being the best and not accepting being anyone less than the best, basically.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean that I always win. Of course, I lost many times, I was broken many times, I failed many times. But then you just bring yourself back up and you live the journey.
You live through it.
And that's the time that where you feel the pain associated to it is a joy.
Definitely.
Because I think when you practice this and when you're consistent, all the pain that comes to it and the late hours of working and the compromises you have to do gives you a sense of being on the right path. Gives you a sense of heading towards the right direction and the sense of I know where I'm heading to and I know what I will be getting later on.
Yeah, definitely. And before we let you go, what would you give a startup or an entrepreneur that is just starting, that is in the trenches, trying to sell, trying to find clients, trying to build his business or trying to grow? What would you share to that person that is in that time?
It's a very broad question, to be honest, because there are so many moving parts. But I think if you just keep in your mind one thing only, if anyone is doing it better than me, they deserve being the best and they deserve earning the business. Every holiday, every break, every chance I get to work when others are not working is an advantage for me to be one step ahead. Because if I started, and obviously this is not a newborn life for everyone, people are already there and there are so many dreamers and hardworking people, and so to catch up and to overtake them, you have to work harder. In real estate, the difference between you selling a studio or a building and making 5,000 commission or 1 million commission is only your knowledge and experience. So, and to get this knowledge, you can work slowly and do 8 hours a day and get it in 10 years. Or you can do 16 hours a day and get it in 5 years. So I think the harder you work, the more you learn, the faster you progress.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.